Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Monday, and it's a Monday. Hope everybody had a great day. If not a great day, then a good day. Listen, this video is going to be a little longer than usual. This might contain some cussing because it's a Monday. So if it's a Monday, then you know I watched what is going on here? The Real Housewives of New York City last night. It was the first part of the two-part season finale. So let's get right into it. There was a lot. Okay, first off, I'm just gonna give this opinion right at the top of my video. This reunion was an hour and 15 minutes. It didn't have to be. This reunion could have been an hour. This reunion, if they cut out some parts, could have been 30 minutes. It could have been 45 minutes. It could have at the most been an hour. I'm going to give the ladies some grace just because it is their very first reunion. I don't typically, when I tune into any kind of reunion show for whether it be Housewives or The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or any kind of reality reunion show, it's for fireworks. It's for more drama. It's never for crying and trauma bonding. It's just not. I mean, if you enjoy that, then that's cool. I kind of wish they would have kept that for the season. Because like I said, when I tune into a Real Housewives reunion, it's not, I don't want to see a lot of crying. But that's just me. If that's you, then you probably enjoyed it. Okay. One thing I did notice, I noticed that Uba from the very get-go was coming in hot, which made me think, is she trying to earn her apple for next season? The reason why I say that is because from what I understand, sometimes Bravo will base whether they're going to ask a castmate back to a show on their performance at the reunion. Is she coming in hot just because she wants to, I don't know, drum up support for her for next year? I mean, I'm pretty sure she probably has the contract sewed up. But then a little bit later on, you then see that it looks like she's actually coming in hot because she feels like some of her castmates just don't have her back. Here's another thing that I loved. Like in the beginning, when they showed all these different fiery texts, it sounded like it was from Uba. This one, I'm gonna put it right in here. This one, where Uba starts calling Erin Karen, Kerin. That was giving me life. Followed up by Jenna sending, who's Karen, Kerin. But it seems to me like maybe Uba has a problem with everybody, including Jenna. Also, who shows up to a reunion with a bag of groceries? That would be Sai. Does she, listen, I realize that this is her very first time doing a reunion. However, even I understand from watching past reunions that they have craft services bringing in food. So there's no real need for you to do that. Here's another thing that completely, I don't want to say upset me, but really made my ass itch. And that is Andy. Andy completely and totally ignoring Uba's attempt to, set a bomb and explode it for some fireworks. Whenever she had said, I cannot remember what they were talking about, but they were on a topic, and then Uba had mentioned about how 3 people had said they did not want Jenna Lyons to be on the show. Two of them I know for certain were Aaron and Cy. I believe I had heard the other one was Jessel, but that would surprise me because she gets along pretty well with Jenna, it seems. Okay, so let's get into it. Aaron's package, because they do like a little package on each one of them. With Aaron's package and Aaron's little, I don't want to say documentary, but her spotlight. I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, they started off with her like sex hungry husband, Abe. I'm going to tell you, if any of them are going to cheat, it's that guy. That dude. He's going to be the one that is going to be cheating. Because a little bit later on, a question comes up and they were like, the question was, would you and Abe really get into the swinger lifestyle? And she was like, absolutely not. We're not. No, we would never do that. That's a lie straight from the pit of hell. I guarantee you, he would be a swinger. He would push her into swinging. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. So, listen, here's another thing. Aaron, please get a sense of humor, because when they were talking about Tribeca, and Jessel said something like, well, I make Tribeca cool or something like that. Everybody on both of the couches understood and got it and laughed, except for Karen, Kerin, except for Aaron. That's not surprising. I mean, I don't want to say that's not surprising. I don't know that she has like the best sense of humor. She's the one that came up with that dressing up like a parrot thing. So, and then Erin gets into the fact she said she had a tough summer. She said that she had a tough summer because her mother, I don't know what my hair is doing, but she said her mother had some health issues. And she then told the story about how her parents had divorced after she was born. Her father then remarried, had 4 kids, and then divorced again. So she was the one who would be taking care of these kids. And the thought that popped into my head, now this is just my opinion, if she had felt like she was always the one that was taking care of the family and she was a mother figure, I would think that she would be a little bit more loving and a little kinder to her friend. Then Andy brought up something that Erin had said on a podcast about Cy. She had said on a podcast that she thought they were very good. She thought they were friends. They were in a good place, but all she does is talk about me on her confessionals. And she doesn't like that that Cy made fun of her shakshuka. Problems. Cy responded and she said, well, you lie and you don't own up to your shit. And what was this about? What was the lie about? Something earth-shattering? No, it was about the cheese again. The cheese. Even Jessel was like, it's enough with the cheese. This is where Uba threw in this whole little bomb of like, why aren't you going to talk about how these 3 didn't want Jenna on the show? And then Andy, oh, well, that's a side bomb. Or are you gonna talk about it later? Or are we gonna continue on this stupid cheese? And then also Uba had said that Erin isn't rude. She is polite, but she is a gaslighting shit stirrer. Absolutely. And who agrees with her? Cy had agreed with her. Now listen, Cy, and this is my opinion, Cy and Erin appear not to be friends and appear not to be talking. Listen, I'm going to tell you this much. I would not be surprised if that was not the case. and they maybe got together and were like, listen, the public really isn't digging us, and the public isn't liking us. So how about if we pretend like we're just not friends anymore? And even throughout the whole night, Sai is apologizing. I think she's apologizing because I think she went out there, she saw what people were saying about her, how people don't like her, and she decided to just apologize. That's what I think. And also with Aaron, Andy had asked like how Frederick from $1 Million Listing is, because she works with Frederick. And he said, how is he? And she said, oh, he's just like he is on TV. And Uba says, oh, well, that's really nice. That's very nice to hear, because that's not what Jenna's like. Jenna comes off as being like, oh, poor me, I'm a victim and I'm old. But in real life, she is this powerhouse. And they asked Jennifer a reply, and Jenna said something like, I don't like talking about people, and I avoid a lot of things, and that's why I just walk away. And Uba counteracted by saying, well, you say you try to avoid things, but you do talk about people, and you have an opinion even when you're not in a scene. And then she says, you back Aaron, you're team Aaron. Now listen, Uba's kind of right, because I mean, Jenna won't say anything to people in the moment that's happening, but then in confessionals, she will. I'm kind of like, if I get that you don't want confrontation, because I don't like confrontation either. However, if you're in the Housewives, if you're going to say it on confessionals, people are going to see it. Why not just say it in that moment? That's all I'm saying. As far as Jenna goes, Jenna's spotlight. With Jenna, they talked about how her mom had died like 6 weeks before filming started. This I can see how this would affect like how she was during filming. Do I think it had everything to do with how she was filming? No. I think it had to have made it extremely difficult for her to be filming. True, she did not have a great relationship with her mother. However, it's your mother. And that too was what made me, when they showed the flashback between when Jenna had met Jessel's mom, that made those scenes all the more special and like touching, because Jenna never had that kind of loving relationship, and now her mother's gone. That was just such a lovely scene to see now that we know what was going on. And here's an opinion. I have opinion. Now, it was heartfelt to hear Uba talk about her mom, because Uba had talked about her mom in this area. Uba had talked about her mom, Brynn had talked about her mom, but Uba had said that she had received messages from people who were like, listen, I didn't have the greatest relationship with my mom, but you talking about your mom and how much you missed her made me call my mother. That was so sweet. And I also really did enjoy seeing Brynn comforting Uba. That was very touching. I did enjoy seeing that. Once again, that being said though, I kind of wish they would have had that in the season, because that could have, I don't know. I wanted all of this emotional things in the season. And also I feel like this season, while I loved Uba, they didn't get that much into her. So she almost kind of felt like a friend of, almost. I really hope moving into next season that we get more fiery Uba, and we just get more of like her life. I would really enjoy to see that. Sai is talking about her mom. I kind of actually tuned out a little bit, so I had to rewatch her talking about her mom. She said that she doesn't really hash out her feelings, and she's never really dealt with the trauma from her mom. She should probably definitely go talk to someone. She said that being tough is her coping mechanism. She's broken inside and she masks it, with humor. And she wants people to look at her and see a positive person. And Andy, nobody bought it, especially like Brynn. Her look was my look the entire episode. And Andy was like, do you think it lands? Do you think people buy it? And she's like, yeah, I think it lands. I really do. It doesn't. She also said like she doesn't share herself. She doesn't like sharing herself. But then she expects people like Jessel to share themselves. And then when they do, she screams at them. Yeah, makes sense. And another thing she had said, she can tell her kids that she loves them, but she can't really go around and tell grown women who are her friends, like, hey, I love you. I mean, that's how you feel. I can't say, well, you shouldn't feel that way. That's how she feels. I mean, everybody expresses themselves in different ways. I'll give that to Sai, and that's about it. Also, they were talking about Jenna's body issues. Erin apologized for the catty way that she told the ladies about Jenna flying early, because remember, she said she flew early because she doesn't fly. She only flies first class. She said, I apologize. There was way more context with it, and I should have shared that. I didn't. And then Erin said, I never realized how self-conscious Jenna was in her body. That's crazy, because when you brought that soup over and you pretended like you were her really good friend, yeah, she told you all about it. How she doesn't have any teeth and everything. How she has thinning hair, everything. But you didn't know. Sai had apologized also. And Jenna had said when she saw that scene, she called her and she told her exactly how hurt she was. Brynn, there was a question. Andy had a question for Brynn, and it was about the double standard with Jenna. Like when Jenna had left in the middle of the night. Remember when they were in their first, what was it? In the East Hamptons, in the Hamptons. And Jenna had left early, and then Erin was kind of like, well, that's okay. But then in the beginning, when Sai and Brynn went to that other restaurant, she kind of let it go on for a while. The question was, did that affect your relationship with Jenna? And she says, no, it didn't. But it was probably based on the hatred of Erin. Erin was like, the hatred? She's like, wait, maybe that's the wrong word. It was frustration. It was just unfair. I thought it was unfair. And she said that she felt like she was kissing Jenna's ass a little bit. Erin was. Which then Uba slyly puts in there, everybody was, or something like that. Okay, speaking of Uba, Uba's a little package. Uba's a little spotlight. Listen, the question came up to Sai. Why did you get, and this was from Andy, I believe it was from Andy, why did you get so upset with Brynn when you were the one that broke Uba's trust? And Sai said she was a little harder on Brynn because they were very close. And Bryn then brings up the fact that listen, you said it on camera. Sai then leaned real heavily into the fact that leaned heavily into Connecticut. And they were like, well, did you not was that the only thing you didn't want her to bring up? And she was like, Uba said, I didn't want to bring up Connecticut. I didn't want her to bring up any of it. I mean, that's just it. Sai apologized, and she said that she was upset with herself, that she broke Uba's trust. So she took it out on Bryn. Plus, she was drinking. And because of all of that, she didn't talk to Bryn for 6 months. And that's just it. And Bryn, it seems like Bryn is like, well, thank you. I accept that apology. However, she then goes on to say that Sai has been in the press calling me a slut and questioning my job and how I make money. And Sai was like, no, I didn't say any of that. I have written here, convenient that she's saying this now. Oh, okay. And so Bryn says, well, you apologized. Isn't it convenient that you're saying all of this now when just last week you were shit talking me in the press? So that brought up the circle of trust. Remember, the circle of trust was Bryn, Sai, and Aaron. Sai and Aaron had taken Bryn out, and to Casa Cipriani, the one restaurant that she likes. So that's where the circle of trust was established. Aaron basically said it was implied, but then said, yes, we told you that no one's going to repeat any of this information about Uba's boyfriend. Bryn said, no, it was never stated. Andy had the question of who was in the circle of trust. What was the circle of trust? Jessel was fiery. I'm going to tell you, I'm the MVP of this first installment. I'm giving it to one of the three on the left couch. Jessel's up there. Jessel said, well, it's just them talking about everybody. They just talk about everybody. They talk about everybody. They talk about everyone. She ate that up. Jessel, and they said, well, but you talk about people too. And Jessel owned up to it. And she said, yes, I do. But listen, that's what you do. If you're on a Housewives show, yep, that's what you do. That's absolutely what you do. Uba then had said, this all started with Aaron. Aaron's like, I guess you're gonna blame it on me. She's like, yes, I am. And she basically said that you were the one who was the seed because you told Sai about what I said, about not being happy with what David said. So you planted the seed, which I can kind of understand. I mean, if she wouldn't have brought that up, then Sai wouldn't have had to have said what she said. So I get that. Speaking of the circle of trust, this was in regards to Jessel's marriage. Jessel said she was just speechless at how disgusting Sai and Aaron were talking about her marriage. She had said that they implied that Pavitt was cheating. And then Sai was like, it was a sexless marriage. It was sexless. Like she still didn't care that she had said it, that she had made these comments. That's what I got from that. Both Sai and Aaron had said, especially Aaron, had said they never said he was cheating. They played the tape, and then you could tell they implied that he was cheating. He doesn't wear a ring. He's going to Vietnam for 24 hours. Something is going on. Speaking of which, if you're on TikTok, I don't know where I found it. If I can find it again, I will let you know where you can find it. But Pavitt did a commentary and did like a video of all the places he went in Vietnam on those 24 hours. It was all food. It was a ton of food. And it was hilarious because he took digs. And Aaron also said, I never said anything about Pavitt not wearing his ring. Jessel asked Brynn, she was like, did she say that? And he's like, yes, she said that. Then Aaron backtracked and she was like, well, I did say it, but I didn't say it in that way. Meaning, listen, I'm gaslighting you into thinking I didn't say that. You just didn't understand. I said it, but I didn't say it that way. I don't know in which way. And then she says, Abe doesn't wear his ring. Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? If any of these husbands is going to be cheating, it's going to be Abe. And then it's going to be David. I'm telling you that straight up. Brynn says to Jessel, out of all of the shit that they talked about, you're still talking about the ring. You're most upset about the jewelry. And then Sai steps in and tries to get her to shut up. That's when Brynn does the, I couldn't hear you all the way down there. Shade galore. And listen, Jessel was getting spicy too, because when Aaron says the double standard between me and Sai is ridiculous. She says, oh no, I'm going to work my way down the couch. I will get there. And Sai was like, don't worry, Sai, you'll get yours. Sai then says, Andy asks Sai, how's everything with Brynn? And she says, we're fine. But no, it's not fine, because apparently, once again, Sai has been calling Brynn a slut in press and kind of questions where she gets her money. Sai says, I never said that. And where did she hear that? I want to know where you heard that. Uba floats Aaron's name and was like, I have $1,000 on Aaron. Aaron was like, not that. Sai says she doesn't know what. Sai then says she doesn't know what Brynn does for work. Brynn is like, yeah, you do. You know exactly what I do for work, because I signed your contract. I signed on your contract for Aveeno babies. And she was like, that was in 2017. She's like, yeah, I've had 6 other jobs since then because I work a 9-to-5 job. Brynn was like, I don't think about you. And I have like 1,000 friends. Brynn is not affected by you. Now with Jessel's spotlight, I'm going to need somebody to make Pavitt a housewife, please. Make him the 7th or cut Sai out. Well, I'm just saying, cut either Aaron or Sai. Not both, because you need a villain. Cut Sai out, bring Pavitt on. Question from Andy, how is your sex life? And she says, much better. The face on Sai the entire time. She don't believe her. Why is it any of her business? So then the shade. The shade came when they were talking how bad the wine was at Jessel's event. Jessel was like, it was free. And Aaron says, sponsorship. And Jessel was like, yeah, it's a sponsorship, but I didn't put it on my invite. Like Erin did with everybody sponsoring her anniversary party, her renewal ceremony. Yeah, that's right. Jessel's was a business. Andy did come up with the question of, did you move to New York for the show just to be a housewife? That's a rumor that was floating out there because they do still have a house in Dallas. She says, no, I did not move to New York just to be on the show. She said she lived in New York for about 10 years. She moved to LA. Poppet started a business in Dallas. They still have a house there. And they've been back in New York for about a year and a half. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if somebody just moves to the city. For me, I do not need a housewife to be super established in a city in order for them to be a good fit for the show. I will tell you straight out, at the very beginning, if you remember, I hated Jessel. I did not like Jessel at all. Now, I'm going to say Jessel is firmly in at 3, maybe even moving up a little bit more. She really did redeem herself quite a bit. And then one last shot from Sai. They were talking about basically Sai discussing Jessel's marriage. And she said, I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have talked about Jessel's marriage. Okay, there's an apology. And then in the middle, she says, but I just feel like they didn't have a connection at all. Jessel was like, I didn't have a connection with my husband. She's like, yes, I didn't feel like you had a connection at all. But once again, I should have never said anything about it. I shouldn't comment on your marriage. People were like, right, correct. You see, you shouldn't. And then Jessel gets kind of sad about the fact that, I mean, listen, they may not have been being intimate because of this IVF struggle for so many years, plus postpartum. So, which leads to shut your fucking mouth, Sai. Please, shut up. So there we go. That's this is the longest video I've done. It's going to take forever to get up. So let me know in the video what you thought. And there we go. If nobody told you yet today, I'll tell you, I love you. Your love's seen and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there and take care of one another. Please be aware of your surroundings. Please be safe, and I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. 35 minutes. Oh, okay. Bye, guys.